Sky Sports News.
Thanks, Joe. Hi, Patrick.
Hi.
What's the latest team news, injury latest for you?
We know that Nathan and Wardy will not going to get part of the game tomorrow. All the other ones managed to train this morning.
Another close defeat. Played really well. I keep saying it's sort of unlucky. Is there a concern now about a lack of goals, or do you think it's coming?
No, I think it's the concern, of course, scoring goals and not conceding goals. I think the games is all about taking your chances and being solid defensively, not to concede a goal. But yes, I think we creating enough chances to score more goals. So we have to keep persevering, keep working hard, and try to score those goals.
Just looking at the league table, obviously you want to think up rather than down. Is this a massive game now, looking at this game tomorrow against Watford?
It's an important game. There's no doubt about it. But again, we know that every game has its challenges and every game is important. We never take anything for granted, and we are not putting really emphasis about where we are on the table. You know, we know where we are, we know what we want to achieve, we know how we want to play. We need to go on the field and perform for those 95 minutes. And I think if when you're looking at the game against Chelsea and you're looking at when we concede the goals, this is something that we need to focus on more, is those details, you know. So when you're looking at the process, the way we want to play, I think is positive, but we need a little bit more to turn around those good performances into a draw or into a win.
And a special game as well. You'll come up against Roy Hodgson, obviously a man who knows Crystal Palace very well. How much are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I think the main focus really will be the way we want to play and the performances that we have to put on the day to win that game. You know, nobody will take away what Roy did at this football club. He spent 4 or 5 years here, and I think he did a fantastic job.
Looking at the positives from Saturday's game against Chelsea, just 7 touches for Romelu Lukaku. So you kept him quiet. How did you keep him quiet, and what was the plan?
It wasn't only about Lukaku. It was about every player in the Chelsea team. We needed a good team performance out of possession, and I think we did it until the 88 minutes. And you know, we knew that when the ball is wide, we needed to defend well the area. We needed to be really close to Lukaku, not to allow him to get touch. And I believe that Cheku and Maka in front of the 2 central back did a really good work. But overall, was a team, I think, performance didn't allow him to touch so many balls.
Finally, Patrick, just want to talk on concussion, because the Leeds defender Robin Koch had some treatment, then came off again. Do you believe now it's time for temporary concussion substitutes to be allowed?
I think that has to be one of the options. Obviously, you know, we want to be sure that the players are okay. So this is why we fully trust in the medicals to make that kind of decision, because that is their responsibility as well. But at the same time, yes, we have to think about the different options to see how can we maybe manage better those kind of situations.
Thanks, Patrick. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Paul Belveston, Premier League Productions.
Thank you very much. Patrick, can you think back to the summer and tell us about the sort of platform that Roy Hodgson left for you to take over at Palace?
I think the foundation of this football club are quite really solid, and I think Roy was one of the person who put those foundation in place to allow the next manager to come and to work. I think he brings stabilities to this football club, and players with experience, and that allowed myself to come to this football club and can count on some of those players who knows the club really well. So this is what I think he left to this football club.
And he's only been at Watford a short time, but they've already kept a rare clean sheet at the weekend. How impressed have you been with how he's made them tougher to beat so quickly?
I'm not surprised at all when you've seen the experience and how many years he's been involved in the game, and he knows what a team needs to get points, and he's doing a sort of good job over there.
A lot of Watford fans were disappointed that Will Hughes left them in the summer. How impressed and pleased have you been with the way he's come into the team over the past couple of months? Yeah,
it's been it take a couple of weeks, I would say, for him to get into training, because the last couple of weeks at Watford he didn't play so many games, and he get back physically in a really good place, and he needed time as well to understand his role and responsibility on the field, and now I'm really happy with what he's bringing to the team.
We've seen him used sort of further up the pitch in the past, a little bit deeper now, perhaps. How is he getting that balance? How is his defensive responsibility compared to his attacking abilities?
Yeah, I think it's always about what you want and what you expect from him. I think he's a player who can be part of the build-up because of his vision and his technical ability to make the ball move from one side to the side, and he can play as well a little bit more higher on the field because he's really smart enough to find a space between the line, and his quality on the last pass is quite really good as well. So I allowed myself to use him in both situations when I needed.
And he said a couple of weeks ago that he likes that your door is always open, and he's been looking regularly for guidance and advice. Is he regularly pestering you for tips?
No, we always like to give some feedbacks about the games, and he as well one of the few players who like to come and to review his game and to have some feedback. So it's really interesting talking to him, because he wants to improve. He wants to know what he can take from the next game and what he needs to improve. So he's a really interesting player to work with.
Good stuff. Thank you, Patrick. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nick Goodwin, BBC Radio London.
Hi there, Patrick. I just wanted to ask you about these all these close results and how you look at them. Do you get frustrated by the drop points, or are you happy and satisfied that your team seems to be in, almost every game? Well, every game is close. So I wonder how you look, whether you can look at them both ways, I suppose.
Yeah, you're looking at both ways, but what is dominant is, of course, the frustration, because I think when you're looking at all the games since the beginning of the season, the way we concede the goals in the late moment in the game, or the mistakes that we make, it is frustration, and I think we need to improve the way that we managing difficult periods in the game, and I think like the goals that we we concede against Chelsea. I think this is something that we can avoid.
Do you allow yourself to think, you know, if a few games had gone slightly differently, we'd be miles up the table? Is that a helpful thing for you to tell yourself at this point, or is it not much point dwelling on?
No. It's just about being realistic, and being realistic is the position where we are, and it's about us playing good football, yes, but at the end we don't win football matches, and we need to turn around those good performances into a win, and this is what is important, is to really understand where we are and what we need to do to win football matches.
You have such an array of options up front. How challenging at the moment is it for you to work out the correct attacking approach for each game? Because you could do so many different things in so many different ways, and obviously, like a game against Watford will be very different from the game against Chelsea, perhaps.
Yeah, it's just about choosing the right profile regarding what I want and the way we want to play the game. We have different options up front, and we're happy with what they are doing at the moment in training. But obviously, I want more from them. I want them to be more clinical in front of the goals. I want them to deliver more, because they have the quality and the potential to do it.
And just finally, given what Roy Hodgson knows about the club, are you going to have to try and surprise him tomorrow, do you think?
No, not at all. I think we just need to stick to what we've been doing since the beginning of the season and try to improve those details to allow ourselves to win football matches.
Thanks, Nick. Damien Starman, Press Association.
Hi, Patrick. I know you said you're not looking at the league table, but are these next two games an opportunity to re-establish that gap between yourselves and the teams at the bottom there?
I didn't say that I didn't look at the table. I look at the table and I know where we are, and I don't try to hide the situation of the league table. We need to win football matches, but at the end, yes, but we still, compared to some of the team, in a good place. But we know how important it is to win, and when you're looking at when was the last time we win the football matches, we need to bounce back as soon as possible, because we want to go back to win games, because it's important to get that momentum back and that confidence back.
Sure. And just on Roy Hodgson, your old manager Arsene Wenger and other managers have brought new ideas into this country over the years for coaches and managers. Roy is one of the few British managers who's gone abroad and experienced that. Do you think that is a valuable thing for a British manager to do?
I don't know. I think you may not give enough credit to the British manager, who I believe some of them doing some really good job. I think it's just about the career that you want, in the kind of experience that you want, and the opportunities as well. So I think Roy had a wonderful experience going to Italy and to Sweden and traveling all around the world to coach. This is something that I believe he wanted to do, and anybody depends on the experience that you want and the options that you have as well.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Okay, that's the end of the broadcast section.